There you go. All right, David, where are you? Jay, man, what's up?
What's happening, Bob?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Long time no see.
yeah, right. I mean, well, let me see. I think it was like what, 5 years ago, something like that.
It's been a while. I mean, I've been on your radio show a couple times since then, but
Yeah,
visually we haven't seen each other for been a while.
yeah, it's been a little while. I'm waiting for. Let me see. What happened to?
What happened to David? Yeah, what happened to David? I actually talked to him yesterday. He connected with me after I did my podcast.
Oh, all right. Let me see
Yeah,
now. Okay, we got that. We got that. I'm just waiting for him.
I don't know what time is he on because he's in Brazil.
No, he knew when he gave me the minutes that he had to wait before he was going to be on.
Oh, okay,
He told me it was going to be like X amount of minutes.
a couple minutes. Okay.
And I said, okay, dokie. I mean, I don't use Zoom because, I mean, Skype to me I've been using it for what, 13 years? So it's like you get used to it.
Well, I actually have it now, so if we ever need to connect that way, we can connect both ways now.
Yeah, I just got to get your address because boy, they might have given you, or maybe it was a different address because you don't use, normally you don't use an Outlook number or a Hotmail or anything like that.
I think it's live J.K. Miliken. I think so.
That's the one I had. I have you're in my Skype for that address.
Yeah, but I don't know if the three, but it says three on my thing, so it may be right.
Yeah, if you see up on the like as I said, up on the left, there's like three dots. If you click on the three dots, that brings down everything that you have on,
Right.
and it'll show you the address that your Skype is.
Yeah, it said J.K. Milliken on there, but that's all it said.
Oh, then okay, then it's the same one I have.
Yeah, I guess it gave me the same one back because I reloaded it on. So,
Let me see. Let me see if I can shake some trees
yeah,
over by David.
shake those trees. Hope
Hmm.
to fall.
Where it's this? What am I playing here, Snoopy? Where are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't seen Jamie and Maggie for a long time either because I live too far away from them now. So,
Oh yeah, you moved. You moved over the border or something?
you know, no, I wouldn't last too long if I did that.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually in Tucson now. So,
Oh, then you don't have the rain that everybody has.
no, we had rain out here. I got flooded a few times over here.
Did you really?
Yeah, wasn't bad, but my whole backyard was like a lake for a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Keep soaking, keep soaking in, and
Back
uh,
in New Jersey, we were like that. There was but I had a pool in the backyard, right? And it was funny because the water was coming up the side of the pool, so you could swim by diving off the deck.
I can surfboard right across the thing.
Uh-huh. No, yeah, seriously. I mean, well, we were within stone throw of the bay, New York Bay. So it's called Raritan Bay.
So how's Lakeland these days?
Yeah, it's Lakeland.
Oh, somebody.
Nope, he's coming after me. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I heard the beep.
I said, okay, we are on. Hey, well, all he's got to do is just put the address in and I answer it here.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw the little thing on the top. It says admin, and I'm saying to myself, I don't think. See, there it is. There he is.
He's coming. Don't see his picture yet, but he's coming.
And he's there.
Ah, there he is. Hey, there's David.
Hey, David, how do you? Well, yeah, I know we're all waving here.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey, David.
Hey, how's it going, JK
I'm
and Bob?
doing
Bob the
well.
man.
We
Uh,
are. We're doing great. Now, look, we were going to have, like as I said, I am a novice when it comes to Skype. I mean, Zoom. So you guys are lucky you even got here. So I mean, hey, I'm serious. I mean, I was looking at the thing and I'm saying, wait a minute, really, these fifth graders that can go and put 100 of their friends on the screen. Why can't I do it?
hey, those kids are smarter than we are, Bob.
Yeah. Well, but when it comes to Skype, I mean, I've bailed us out of really bad situations on Skype many times, and most people don't even know how to run Skype. Period. But Zoom, I've never been on Skype before, so I mean Zoom, and I figured like, heck, just let it go by itself. It'll work.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, Bob. It's working perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making this connection with us. I had a talk with JK yesterday, which was a great talk. Good to see you again, JK.
And I see you again, David.
All
Well,
right.
I couldn't get the video to work. I couldn't get the video to work yesterday, but at least now you can see that there's a face behind the voice.
The face behind the mask.
Well,
Exactly.
There you go. There you go.
Do you know Joseph Campbell?
No, I don't know him.
He's a social scientist, and he wrote the book The Hero's Journey.
Hmm.
The Man with 1,000 Faces.
No.
So Joe Campbell. Anyways, that's a different story. Go ahead, Bob. Take over.
No. I was gonna say that it's also recording, so you can always play it back later if you say, "Did I say that?" Or what did I forget? Or you can do that later. And as soon as I find out where it goes after it gets recorded, it's also being recorded in an audio on our regular radio station, but it's not transmitted. So it's right here. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, but they'll hear it.
Nobody will hear it unless they click on unless I take the link off. In other words, it's not public. It's just us.
Yeah,
But you can make it public, right? If it's interesting enough, and if it drives the listeners to the Pyramid One Network Radio, you got two powerful people right here with you, Bob.
Talking about that. Okay, JK, you had an idea. What's your idea?
The idea about our discussions.
Yeah, well, you sent me the email that said you wanted to talk.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about transformation and consciousness.
Okay, that's you and David.
Yeah, both me and David will discuss that.
Good. Okay, so you're gonna do the podcast.
Well, you're the leader of the podcast. We're just here.
No. What I mean is this: if you want to put this on as an actual hour podcast, and that a day a week or whatever, or a night a week, or something, tell me whatever night you want to do it, and
Okay.
I'll put it on for that night.
Okay.
So that then I can take this. If this works, okay, I'll give you the link, and you can do whatever you want to with the link.
So what say you, David?
Well, JK, we spoke that, your Mystic Spirit podcast is not really a live podcast. And I also mentioned to you that I was trying to do the Power of Islands podcast. So maybe rather than us doing our own individual podcast, that we could work with Bob.
Yeah,
and Bob could actually do the recordings, but we could also talk about the Mystic Spirit and also the Power of Islands, in addition to Bob's work with Pyramid One Network. I think that works out great with me.
Let me add something else for you guys, and you guys, I mean, especially JK, because he's been part of it, doing it with us before. We also have people can call in on the phone, And that
Yeah.
I'll look it up. I think there's a telephone number you can call in from Brazil if you want to, or anywhere else for that matter. It's still 609-663-0153 from anywhere in North America. So you can do that. The other thing that you can do is the link that you guys had that you can come in on Zoom with. You could use that. You could put that on your on your whatever boards and something. And if somebody wanted to come in, they wanted to discuss it, or a guest wants to come in or something, there you go.
Yeah.
If you run the thing through you, it'd be great.
Yeah, as long as I get the main screen up, I mean, you guys can do whatever you want to with it. I mean, if you want to put in 100 people, go ahead. The only thing that Zoom is tied together with is 40 minutes is all you can do it. Now, on the other hand, if I do it on Skype I have unlimited, and I can put 100 people on there.
Yeah, I think Skype's the way we should go.
Yeah, well, Zoom, Bob, Zoom, you can go beyond the 40 minutes, but it requires that you take out like a subscription or something.
Do you see the cost of the subscription?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see the cost, but yeah, there is a cost. So
yeah,
if that's a limiting factor, then, obviously.
Yeah, you got to take, I think it's $159 for 1 year.
That's, if you're going to use it all the time and you're going to be producing a worldwide podcast, that's not expensive at all.
On the other hand, that the reason why I use Skype is because all of the people that have ever been in Skype with us on the show is in Skype.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Skype is a really good format.
Yeah.
I used to use it a lot. I used to use it quite a bit. Now with WhatsApp, or WhatsApp, I should say, I tend to use WhatsApp for most of the communications that I'm doing, because it's a lot easier to send files and keep track of the conversations. Mm-hmm. You have like a call log, and it just works whichever way works best. Today I wanted to try to talk with you, Bob, and now that JK's on, he might find this of interest also, because I think yesterday I mentioned quantum radio. In the new technology that's out using quantum radio, which is just starting, and we have an opportunity here. We've been testing embedding information in the regular radio frequency. When I say information, I mean things like love and kindness and caring and compassion.
Okay, hold it. Back up a little bit.
Okay.
Let's put this in perspective a little bit. Explain to me exactly what the radio is. The product, the actual radio. What is it? Is it solid? Is it consciousness? Is it spiritual? What realm would you put the radio in?
Consciousness.
In consciousness. Okay. So now we have something that we have to bring people into, and JK, I think you're gonna agree with me on this. We have to tell people that this is better than bread.
Yeah.
to have them come in, because people they always look for something they can hold. Like for instance, this phone is made in Brazil, believe it or not. This phone cost $159. The same thing in Apple costs $1,500. This does exactly the same thing, but it's something I can hold in my hand. On the other hand, you have consciousness, which you've made a niche. You can only get a certain amount of people into it. Now, what we have to do is learn the line in between the consciousness part of it and regular people that are walking in the street. How do you tell the regular guy in the street that consciousness works? I mean, we know itself. For instance, I'll give you a good one. And JK, I think you know this. Before the Twin Towers were hit by planes, hundreds and thousands of people had the vision of something happening bad in New York. That was consciousness. It spread.
Absolutely.
All around the world, this spread. And 2 days later, pow, the building got hit. If anybody had opened up their mouth, maybe it wouldn't have happened. But we don't know about that. But consciousness does work. It's a communication tool. People that are in other planets are using it right now, just like they're falling off a log. And we're just beginning to understand it. To use it, you must understand it. And to understand it, you must understand what consciousness is to begin with.
That's correct.
So there's a lot of teaching before you step off that diving board into the pool. You better be able to have water in that pool, pal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's serious.
Well, let me say this, Bob, that the project, and also JK, I spoke yesterday with JK about Biodome, the project that we're working on here. The Biodome operates with a radio frequency, and it's a local satellite. It's a communication station. It uses a drone to basically float a comprehensive iPhone, like a phone device with a camera above 5,000 feet above where we are on this island called Evolution Island.
I think I saw an article on that once. Yeah.
Yeah. But right now, as we speak, we are being monitored by the satellite, the GOES satellite. There's 4 satellites that orbit the Earth. And those satellites can take measurement of electromagnetic frequency. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a localized system, very focused. Only about 20 miles is our range. And within that 20 miles, when we embed love and compassion into the radio, in the quantum radio frequency, you can see immediately the biorhythms in the biofeedback. There is a change in electromagnetic frequency because the frequency of love sends out a very specific tone in frequency, a radio frequency.
Well, that is
strong.
So
right now we can monitor any changes, like you mentioned 9/11 in the Twin Towers. That incident, they have on record with the GOES satellite has on record the change in the electromagnetic field over Manhattan during that specific event. And it was dramatic. It was like an earthquake. They monitor this, and we can monitor the effectiveness when we embed information like love into the radio. And we are doing this right now with the radio Antenna Antenna is a radio station from Sao Paulo, but it's an international station. They use web radio also, so you can get the connection anywhere in the world. The company is based out of Rome, Italy, out of the Vatican, actually. And so what we're doing is we're embedding a signal into radio Antenna but the problem, Bob and JK, is that the audience for radio Antenna is huge, and it's not a concentrated area. That's the problem. We cannot quantify or qualify that we are actually having an immediate effect on people. But the Biodome project is different. It's a localized, only a local satellite. It's not using the GOES satellite, which satellite in space requires time for the data and information to be transmitted from Earth to the satellite and then back down to Earth for us. So there's a delay, about 20-second delay, actually. It's a long delay. And that delay is what's really the problem. Our project, Biodome, cuts through that and goes directly to the local community. What we want to do on this island, Evolution Island, we're only 1 mile off of the coast. And directly in front of us, there's a stretch of land. It's about somewhere about 20 miles in distance. That distance, we want to isolate and use as a scientific research area. And we want to send this quantum radio frequency to 2,000 people. 2,000 people on the mainland will be connected into a network. Once we do that, we can monitor the electromagnetic difference locally, not using the GOES satellite. The information from the GOES satellite is very expensive and almost impossible for just the average Joe Schmo to get the data from GOES.
All right, I'm going to back you up just a little bit. You have people that are working with you on this.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And we're testing. We've been testing for about 2 years.
Okay. How about the land that you're going to do the research on? You got permission for that?
We have a concession. What all we need is a antenna. It's a quantum antenna in a.
All right, you just froze up there for a second, but I understand what you're talking about. Their quantum antennas are small. They're not big at all. If you're too stuck, and for some reason that this thing is really, really stuck there, David.
Also, we can do without the land.
There you go.
We can use a specialized drone. We have a specialized drone that can fly above the atmosphere with no battery. See, the problem with drones right now is that it requires a battery.
No,
and you have to bring the drone down. But we're working with the Ministry of Science and Technology here in Brazil in creating a new drone that uses a quantum radio frequency and time crystal technology, which has a perpetual energy field. So it doesn't need a battery. It operates with the air, with just the energy that's in the atmosphere. It's amazing technology, guys. This is beyond belief. And I'm fortunate. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physicist. I'm not a book writer, author. I'm not a chef. I'm not a radio talk show host person. I'm nothing. But I'm everything at the same time, because I'm surrounded by very top quality and high profile people. The information that I'm willing to share with you, JK, and anyone else willing to listen is really proprietary information. When you start talking about technology like time crystals, quantum radio, anything that's innovative technology, most companies would not speak like I speak, because they would want some type of legal document, some terms and conditions, non-disclosure, what have you. But I can speak this way because...
Let me stop you for a second. Anything that's on here, anything that we're doing right now, for instance, would be totally secure. It's not going anywhere. It's here. That's it, period. It's on this server. And once I send it to you, I can even get it off my server and just give you the only copy. That we can do. But the other question that I have is, you have other people with you that are technical people that are working on the same thing as you are. JK, tell me if you agree or not. This is something that we should get all those people on here to discuss steps to do this and make it successful. Because what you have is something really, really awesome. But on the other hand, you got to be able to tell people how it works without letting the cat out of the bag. In other words, you have to convince people that this is definitely going to work and this is why. The who, what, when, where, how, and why. Remember them?
Yes.
So, yeah. That's if you have all of those, then you got it made. But what we actually need is to sit together with the technical people that are enabling this to make this happen. And if we could do that, then we'd understand it better and understand a good way to start jabbing at it.
JK, what do you want to say?
Well, here's some interesting stuff. You're talking about, there is an existence now, a quantum computer. A lot of people are not aware of its existence. Also, there are many satellites that's operated on a quantum system. So eventually I can see you connecting into the quantum system.
Yeah, but what you're talking about, JK, is a bleed off.
Yeah, it's basically what will eventually become.
Yeah, it's gonna spill into the other systems.
Yeah, because people are unaware of the whole quantum system because it's stuff happening in the background.
You'd have to, you know what you'd have to do in a case like that? I mean, you'd have to get, I don't know how you do it, but you'd have to get your own frequency that's far away from what the satellites are on.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying eventually there might be some interconnectivity possibilities.
Yeah, because
Right.
you get, you know, you can get phasing going on too at the same time if you're too close.
Yeah, yeah. Bob, what we're doing is we're broadcasting Antenna Radio, antennaum.com.br. And we play that 24/7 here on Evolution Island. And when we play it, we're recording, we're doing a live stream recording.
Yeah.
And then we're basically rebroadcasting that signal.
Right.
So the quantum side of things, like JK said, this is information that's not really new, but it's out there in a circle of people that do not want to let that information out of the bag, because this is the biggest revolution or evolution in technology is the time crystal. The time crystals have an unlimited bandwidth for data, have an unlimited speed for processing, and also regenerate a green energy field using the field. So it has an unlimited energy supply. Those three things make up the internet. That's what operates the internet.
You know, I don't want to go too far with this, but JK, isn't that the same thing that started Atlantis?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing. I mean, see, Atlantis was built on a huge crystal, and other crystals, of course, that were used to power the one crystal that they had. And they say that is the reason, because somebody did something stupid. But whatever stupid thing they did, they burned themselves down into the ground someplace or under the water somewhere. But it's the same thing. The crystals are the energy. And just like we have, how many? I mean, JK, I think you were in on the tail end of what I was doing. There were 30 crystal skull guardians that I had on my shows. 30. Nobody ever interviewed that many people with crystal skulls. All of them were different. All of them communicated different. There's one that's called the Bob crystal skull, and he actually talked to me during the show. I heard it. I did that. Nobody was opening up their mouth whatsoever. It came out on the recording, but it came out like fuzzy. But I heard it plain as day.
Yeah.
And this was through the way I have this thing hooked up. Everything that we have when I bring somebody in, and it goes out, you know, the waves or whatever. If somebody comes in and say, Jamie reads somebody, he's good at reading them, because what I have hooked in here, the line that the person calls in on is directly connected to his channel in Skype. So I'm out of the way. It just goes right around me and right into Jamie. So Jamie's actually electronically connected to the person on the other end when he does it. Now, this is very, 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 very similar, only it's wireless.
That's correct.
And that's amazing. And I can see why they wouldn't want the cat out of the bag. But the idea is you've got to get something that's up, working, proven. I mean, right now you're proving it. You're still in the proving stage of this.
Yeah, that's
But
the base basically. But you know, we are proving every day is a new day and a new moment. We know where we're headed with this. The technology doesn't get any better, more advanced. In the evolution of consciousness, our consciousness has evolved. I don't know JK's opinion, but we have all of the information, Bob, that we need to live in a thriving world where people do not have to compete and people can live together as one, not in separation. We have that information. This quantum radio, for me, is the most important invention and discovery ever in humanity, ever.
all right. Well, I just got a big warning up here. I'm running out of time. I only have 10 minutes to go. Bummer. But on the other hand, do both of you guys have Skype?
Sure, I have Skype.
If this runs out of Skype, I have Skype is right behind me, right behind the screen. So
Yes.
I can tune into both of you, and you can pick up one and I call you.
That would be fine with me. Or you could just go ahead and just schedule another time. You know, when we get off within a few minutes, you could just do another 40 minutes.
Well, yeah, but I would also like you and JK to talk about this, because what I'd like to do, and I think it kind of makes sense, put more people together on here to, like, for instance, like what JK is doing with his podcast. That's fantastic. If you guys in that can do that, that's put that aside. That's the show. And I think that's very, very important right now, because half of the population that is in the I don't know, they're underwater. And right now that's very needed. The thing about the quantum radio, we should really, really get anybody that you're working with on this, anybody that knows anything about the technology or anything else, get them all on and to talk about it. It's the easiest way to put a meeting together and get
Right.
a lot done.
Bob, one of the issues that we have, and you know this already, I spoke to you the last time when we first did the podcast together. In Brazil, most people here locally do not speak English. It's really very difficult for me because I don't really speak Portuguese, but to put them on the podcast is almost worthless. It might actually be detrimental. It might actually hurt the momentum. I'm working with a radio, not an radio expert, but the person that's consulting with me regarding how we actually make the quantum radio and also the manufacture of the quantum antenna. That guy, his name is Carl. Now he speaks English because he deals internationally. They do a GPS antenna that makes GPS like Garmin system look ridiculous, because Garmin and GPS has an area of about 3 feet, three or 4 feet accuracy. Feet.
I know.
This quantum radio technology has accuracy within 1 centimeter for 400 kilometers. It's unbelievable. This technology that we're using is actually classified information by the Brazilian military. The antenna is not even identified because the frequency that we're capturing is not even on the radar. The frequency is the first antenna frequency off of 0.00 or the 0 point field.
Ouch.
It's literally antenna It's the first sound that you can hear from actually the Big Bang. It goes all the way back. There is no past, present, and future in the 5D, the virtual reality, the metaverse, we'll call it whatever you want. There is no past, present, and future. There's only one time, and that is now. And that's what the antenna, the quantum radio and quantum antenna does. It only focuses on the moment of now. And the military doesn't want that type of accuracy, because I can peg you right in the middle of your forehead, Bob. If I can know your GPS coordinate, your elevation, the exact time, we do a 4-point GPS logistic, not a 2-point. The GPS that normally you use is only longitude and latitude.
Right.
It does not include your elevation. And when I say elevation, I don't mean above sea level or sea level elevation. I mean pegged at 0.00 absolute, which is at the center of the earth. We use a mathematical algorithm called geodesy. Geodesy can calculate exactly where you are in your pineal gland, right in the back of your eye, your third eye, right where your pineal gland is.
Now, JK, that's getting serious. That's getting real serious.
It's getting real serious. The accuracy of this is like a laser precision. And the military does not want the public to have that type of information. It's dangerous as hell. What I'm talking about is equal to the discovery of the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
And you know, you can use antenna and quantum radio for good or you can try to use it for bad. But fortunately, the 5D world, if you have bad intentions, you cannot come to 0.00 absolute. There's a firewall, enormous firewall walls. You can't get into 0.00 absolute if you have any evil intention at all whatsoever. If you have any ego, at 0.00 absolute, there is nothing. Nothing. It's total darkness, total stillness. There is 0 absolute. It's amazing. And it could be dangerous in the wrong hands, but it's not. It's not really. I don't fear that, because the evil forces and evil intentions cannot penetrate into 0 absolute. They can get very close. They can get to the gate. They can, just like in the heaven, you can get to the gate, but you still have to get through the gate. And the only way to get through it is to have pure intention, a pure heart, love, unconditional love, and surrender.
Just on the side a little bit. All you need is a 10-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm serious. I mean, that'd be dangerous. I mean, you're like, hey, I would not. You're right. An older person would not know what the heck is going on, but you get that 10-year-old. I mean, my grandson is what, 7, 8, something like that. He did, when somebody's laptop, tablet goes out, he fixes it in seconds.
Yes.
I mean,
amazing.
He's no computer experience at all except for playing games. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's what, the Biodome project uses game theory. In the quantum radio uses game theory, because it's about having fun.
Yeah.
If you're in a loving, accepting, non-conditional situation in your life, it's all joy. And you want to share that with everyone. You want to play with everyone. You want to get on the radio. For me, Bob, the radio was the most important invention ever. Not the television, not the ability to see each other. That's wonderful. But the more that we use our senses, the less we are from 0.00 absolute, because 0.00 absolute uses clairvoyant senses, like Jamie and Maggie with the psychic ability. They're using their third eye, and they're connecting their pineal gland, and their radio frequency is going into that wave where they can do tarot card readings. They can do other things that other people can do, but they're just not trained to do. If everyone just remembers the power that we all have, man, the whole world would be a different place.
That's something.
In a wonderful place. So I don't know. Do you want to try to connect on Skype, or how do you want to go about this, Bob?
I don't know when or if this thing internet is going to give up, but you know what? I mean, I can, if John's, if his address and then it's still the same. I mean, David, I have you in Skype anyway.
Yes. But I think we're going to lose each other here in about 1 minute. And what's going to happen is just going to disconnect.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to try to do the Skype. You want to try to do that now, or how do you, and also this recording for people that may be listening in the future. If anyone's interested in JK's work as an author, also Bob Charles at Pyramid One Network, and also myself with the Biodome project in Brazil, we're here, we're available. We're pretty easy to find on the internet, all of us. So I just want to let any potential listeners, and you have my permission. I don't know, JK can give you his permission, but to go ahead and make this a public record. There's nothing that I have said.
I think we just lost him again.
Yep. He's poof. He's in there somewhere. Yeah, what I was going to say was that if you guys want to continue, now I can get you on Skype.
Yeah, we should schedule another meeting at another time.
Yeah, you know what though? I'll tell you something. The thing that I'm talking about now with bringing in other, technical people. I mean, the ones that speak English.
Well, yeah, you have to have that, otherwise it's not convincing to your
Yeah,
audience.
you need something. You need